And we're live! Hello and welcome to the 68th episode of Game Theory Gang. I'm Matty Allen with ChrispyMan of HexFire.io, Tobiwan Hexobi, and Jen Hex. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Howdy,
Hey,
howdy.
what's up?
Happy to be here.
Happy
Welcome back to the States, Maddie.
Hit the like and subscribe button or get out.
Yeah. Get the
Let's
fuck
get
out.
that out of the way at the beginning.
Get Toby's F-bomb out of the way at the beginning.
I know, right? I want to get this demonetized immediately. But I don't think you're monetized anyhow, are you? Or are you?
Oh, I am.
You are? Uh-oh. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
There's
Isn't
a
it like
link
what?
to Trezor in the description below.
Oh,
You
got
are
it. There
you are
go.
But
monetized.
also on
Monetization.
YouTube, people can do super chats.
Sweet. Sweet.
And
So what's shaking,
whether we're
fellas?
streaming at the same time as Dollar Cost Crypto or not, I figure I'm gonna watch his stream after this one, and he'll probably watch ours. So shout out to everybody who's on the replay gang.
Nice.
Shout out.
So what's going on, guys? What's up?
Pepe has been a wild ride on Pulse Chain.
You've been playing in the
I
casino?
didn't. Well, yes and no, because it's like I've got an onboard of mine that likes to dabble in degeneracy, and I am sometimes
Is
swayed.
that what you call yourself?
Well, I don't know if it's degen or not. It's like I mean, if you can take a small, tiny, it's like buying a lottery ticket at the gas station. You know what I mean? It's like. So anyhow, I put a small amount of money in Pepe back in May, and then I was like, fuck this, and dumped like almost all of it. And I think I got out relatively unscathed, or maybe I lost a little bit of money. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't a lot. And then, but it happened. It just so
Crispy,
happened that
we're
this,
hearing a lot of breathing.
yeah,
Just
Crispy,
mute yourself.
you're coming in hot with the
That's
breathing.
case.
Maybe mute unless you're talking, or I
Don't
wanna tell you
stop
to
breathing now.
I'm
Don't
waiting
stop
to see.
breathing.
I stopped breathing, so let's
Please,
see what happens.
you can breathe. Just
We
like
lose
not,
more people that way.
not
Don't stop
stalker
breathing.
phone call style.
I'm just. I'll switch
But,
while I'm watching. I'm
he's-
just going to switch this.
He could be having a panic attack because Tobiwan's talking about something other than
about
that.
something not Richard Howard
Yes.
product. Hey, he talked about
Yeah.
it first. But anyhow, the point being is that the fork happened. Just so happened that it was when I had dumped all my stuff on Ethereum. Pretty much, I had a little bit left, maybe a third, and then
This
but I
is
had the full
basically
bag.
this is like a video coin fashions. So far.
Yeah, right. No doubt. So
Yeah.
I had my full bag of Pepe copied because it's like I sold it after the copy. So all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I got like, all this Pepe over on Pulse Chain, but it's worth like $2 or something. So I'm like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like Richard's talking about it and does the liquidity farm. I'm like, oh, now I have like a use case for it, right? It's like I'll go ahead and bridge over the little bit that I had left on Ethereum, and I'll pair him up and throw him in his farm and try it out. So it worked out for like a day or two, and then he dumped the incentive. And
Who
so the
did?
yield the yield went from like 1,000% to like 5% or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, you
but
should
yeah,
have
but it's like,
listened
it got,
to the
I mean,
memo.
it's a method of outreach marketing kind of sort of, it's like there's lots of people that are into meme coins, and they got a lot of people talking. One guy in particular, he outed, but he like blocked out his name. Did you see that tweet? I think the guy's name is Paulie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dipshit. But anyhow, he like was so butthurt by Richard tweeting that and then blocking his name, he like doubled down on it and made himself look even worse and like retweeted it. And was like, yeah, Richard's hiding my name because he's like,
Free advertising.
right, I know.
Beautiful.
And it's like, thanks, dude. It's like, and
Well
then
played.
I think this might be my first ratio ever, but like I made a comment about his post, and we're like almost 1.5 to 1. Like I got 167
Congrats.
likes to his 110. So I'm like,
Congrats.
yeah, ratio feels good. So, but yeah, it's and then the Aave thing, like that was like a weird up and down, and then I don't know what else is really happening in the farming community, farmers only.
Hello. Link got listed yesterday or the day before,
What,
and
bro?
now today there was something listed like Uni from Ethereum,
Really?
but not the Uni copy.
Right on.
And so everybody's just playing these degenerate games where they're guessing the next thing to get listed.
Now, do you know what's funny is like I have been talking
Alts are
about Link.
pumping, but
Yeah, right.
the
And
game
Hex
is to accumulate pulse and hex.
right. Well, I mean, yes, and then Hex has been doing great against Pulse. So you know, I mean, my number one strategy is always to try to stack more TShares, but to each their own.
Well, we got Craig here with us today. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you, man. I'm glad you're
Likewise.
doing better.
Thanks. Yeah, I got 2 new clavicles here. Grew them myself.
Dude, he's great.
Homegrown
Man.
clavicles. Speaking of farming, clavicle
Yes.
farming.
That's right. That's right.
Grow your own.
What have you been up to?
Just, I don't know, man. Working. Started streaming again and then haven't been streaming again. Just trying to get my rhythm back, get my mojo back.
Yeah, we were trying to do Saturdays, and it was rough, man. It's like he's working full time and still pulling some weekends and stuff, and then I've got family obligations, and then I'm already doing this with you on Tuesday, and then what the heck's on Thursday, and then just life. So it's like it's not worked out to be like a regular thing on Saturdays, but hopefully we'll get it going again because it was fun, and it's like I like vibing with some fellow Generation Xers because like some of our references are lost on whippersnappers like you, Maddie. So it's fun to kind of be in the old fogey chat, you know.
It's kind of.
I just like Craig's sense of humor.
Thanks,
He's hilarious.
man.
I love.
Thank
Craig.
you. I like when Maddie calls me Craig Waddington. So it's fun.
What did I get wrong?
It's Craig Wadding.
It's just Wadding.
Okay.
I've done
Sometimes you call
done-
me Craig Waddington, and I just roll with it. I'm okay. It's
Yeah.
there.
Dude,
More
I've done the
regal.
same thing. I don't know why. It just seems maybe you just seem too erudite or something. It's like
There's probably more Waddingtons out there than Waddings, so maybe that's what it is.
got it. Maybe that's
It's just-
funny.
But yeah, man, I always like to be involved with the community. I know lately not as much, but I mean we've got at least 5,555 days or less, right, to know each other, if not more.
Well, you know, Time Pays Me is out now.
Oh, that's yes.
Yeah,
So
you're not limited to 15 years anymore.
see Bitfinesse is calling me Craig Waddingtonson now, so it's just the name's getting bigger.
Bitfinesse! The
Bitfinesse,
hardest
what's up?
working hexagon at them all.
Bitfinesse, the first person to chat in my first live stream, the first name to pop up on my
Really?
first live stream. Yes,
That's an honor.
he's a good dude.
Bitfinesse will like break the law to like get more hours at work, so he can buy more hex, even though he already has like lots of hex.
Coast to coast truck driving stuff, man.
That's right.
I go nuts just having to commute like over an hour for work. I can't imagine driving all day every day, man. I don't think I could do it. So kudos to you guys. But I'm going to be honest, Maddie. I missed the stream the other night, so I haven't got the update on the Time Pays Me. I'm going to have to
Did
go back and
you-
catch up.
Did you watch my stream with Richard from 6 months ago?
Yes. When you
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it's all good.
Okay. So I'm up to date, is what you're saying. I'm good. Okay.
Well, almost, but like you're here now, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I hope ChrispyMan will come back because.
Yeah, he's having some AV
as well.
audio visual issues. But yeah, he should pop back in here hopefully soon. And then in case he popped into chat and he hasn't checked his Telegram, I threw an invite to Scotty Does Know. I thought
Awesome.
he's always good at adding some flavor and different perspectives.
As I pointed out to you, if he hasn't checked his messages, Scotty doesn't know. He's invited to Game Theory Gang.
Right. Yeah, and thank you for that reminder. I totally forgot about that song and that movie until you sent me that YouTube link today. But
We've
that
all
was
got origin
hilarious.
stories, right?
Yeah.
For our names.
Oh, the Scotty
Right.
Doesn't Know song.
Yeah.
That's a good.
That's hilarious. I totally forgot. I'm like, how do I know? Because like his avatar is that too, and I'm like, man, it's like I know this. I should just Google it, and I never went that far. And Maddie hit me with the YouTube link, and I was laughing out loud.
here's something people are asking about. Pulse hot list. Look, guys, I'll be straight with you. I don't know. And, you know, crypto is like 95% scammers. Like, yeah, I feel like there's 0% scammers on the screen right now. But just like Funding Jim said, you know, people should usually show their faces. That's like a pretty good sign. You know, I sacrificed a shitload to Pulse Hot List, and you know they said they were delayed, this and that. But you know, um, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's not my project. My project launched and didn't have a sacrifice, so there you go. And you know, I regret the day that I ever talked about a non-RH sacrifice. But I still think you know it could do pretty good if it ever comes out. So there you go. And if you you know if you're squawking about it on Twitter, I might block you because I don't owe you anything. You know, because I didn't take anything. I don't control any keys. So I was just like talking about it. And that's the whole point of free speech is like, you know, I can talk about shit on the internet as long as I don't break any rules. So that's where that is. But hey, I'm probably in the same boat as you are, maybe even deeper. So, you know, we can all just be cool.
Speaking of scammers, I'm sure people were aware of it, but several times a day I've got to remove myself from conversation, block all that. The posts for the Hex airdrop stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep, me too, all the time.
Yeah, it says basically
scams,
click on
right.
this link to get your airdrop of Hex. I'm sorry, not Pulse airdrop, but Hex airdrop. So again, like I tell friends, anybody I'm telling about crypto or getting into or trying to onboard, like rule number 1 is there is always someone out there trying to take what you have. There's always going to be somebody wanting to lie, steal, cheat to take what you have. So security is like should be the first thing you learn about, you know, and what to click on and what not to, and links and things like that. That's a really good way to get yourself in trouble.
I guess the Pulse Hot List didn't update yesterday. See, I hate it when people like ask me about something, but like you could have just looked it up yourself. Do your own research, people. So July 3rd, Pulse Hot List didn't update on their website. And it links to their Twitter, and it's on their website, freepulse.io, and it says that they did an airdrop. Tokens have appeared in your wallet. You can verify their validity, and there's no liquidity. So maybe it'll get added in the coming days. Cool. There you go. Congratulations.
Maddie, you could probably use validity and liquidity and make a new song.
Did you hear the one that somebody made?
A recent one? I haven't heard any new songs.
Somebody made a song about me today.
No way.
No.
West
Yeah,
Guy or
it's
who?
really good.
Who did it?
Somebody new.
Right on.
It's like a rap song. It's really good.
Did they use validity and liquidity in their song?
Almost.
I can't say either word for some reason, but
It's good though.
somebody can make it happen.
I retweeted it, and I'll probably play it on Hex Therapy Live, but I don't want to get this show canceled either.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there's
that's
some
cool.
there's some creative people in the community as far as music goes, man. Even like Pulse Lord,
Yeah.
obviously Freddie Quote, some of those guys, they Core the Investor, those guys. A lot of them. That's
yeah.
fun though.
Freddie
It's fun.
Quotes.
It is. Parodies are a ton of fun, dude. It's like this is another Gen X reference, but and this might be too obscure, but there was a guy way back before Weird Al Yankovic called Dr. Demento, and he would have like ridiculous tape cassettes you could buy of all these hilarious parodies. So I've been like a parody fan forever, and like I'm constantly like changing lyrics to songs in my head, and it's just a lot of fun.
I think Weird Al was a huge fan of Dr. Demento's, where he
Yes.
got his. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but it's a fun thing to do and then that way it's like you've already kind of got a familiar beat or song that people like, and then you spin it up to like this thing about Maddie, which I'm anxious to watch, and other similar things like Westcott's done a bunch now, and then it's almost like a video version of a meme, right? So it's like it gets people talking, and, like,
Little Bubble came out with a video today about Gary Gensler.
Oh, the Gensler one?
Oh,
That's
did he really?
awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
It's said to be his greatest work.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, it's an Eminem song, right? So it's like, how can you fuck that up? I mean, it's like, it's such a great beat.
What's up, Brisology?
Hey, what's up,
in the
Briz?
chat?
We should start producing them ourselves.
Briz. Like I said, I know it's not music, but I got the 3D printer. I've been doing a lot of stuff with the 3D printer, and
Oh yeah.
as soon as I can figure out more, I wonder if Richard would be mad if I made a 3D print of him. Sometimes he'll say stuff on Twitter about people reusing
The Hex logo
Like
or
the
whatever.
As
Hex
long as you
logo.
don't make it into a coin.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, I think it seems to me like his issue with that is like, it's kind of sort of for you. So like, just don't tell me about it. Because then you're making me complicit in like a thing, and then you're like forcing my hand to act. So
It would be more for just collectors type thing, like you guys, like make a few of them and send them to you guys. So you
Yeah,
have 'em.
it'd be cool.
I mean, because obviously we don't get in trouble for copyright infringement.
right.
Link.
Yeah, I'm working on that for a friend of mine. He collects anything Legend of Zelda. So
Should
we're
tell him
nice.
to buy some Link on Pulse Chain.
There you
Yes.
go. Right.
I'm going to segue. That's going to be, I'm going to be like, hey, look what I made for you. And by the way, and pull up the laptop. And that's how I'm onboarding people, by bribing them with 3D
Beautiful.
prints of their favorite things.
Beautiful.
Yes.
This is what a bad furu I am. It's like I've been talking about Link and Aave and other coins that could potentially do well on Pulse Chain since before Pulse Chain, like around the sacrifice, maybe before, like when we first started talking about Pulse Chain being a thing. And I literally bought no Link, no Aave, none of that stuff.
Correct.
I just
Coin
I s-
Fashions Part 2.
right again, and it's like, but it's like, and there's people out there playing those games, and but it's like, I think it's pretty clear, like Richard's tweet, like he doesn't want you out there buying stupid stuff. It's a marketing ploy. It's like, that's the whole idea of the farms. It's just like what Matic did, right? It's like you give people incentive to come over and experience the cheaper, faster functionality, the interfaces of PulseX, etc., and then hopefully a proportion of them stay, right? And then, or they go back away to ETH, and then when ETH fees start going crazy, they remember like, man, that was pretty slick over on PulseX. I'm going to swing back through there and try that. And then maybe first trip, second trip, third trip over to do some stuff, they'd start digging a little deeper about this Richard Hart guy and the Pulse ecosystem, and then find out about HEX. And then they dig into HEX and they're like, hey, this seems like a pretty awesome store of value. And then maybe they take some of these profits they're making from these things that they're doing and start storing it in HEX. So, I mean, that's been my contention forever, that's kind of like what needs to happen and what inevitably will happen. And Richard's doing it. And then there's like myopic people that are.
Did you just...
I lost audio. I
It's
can't
like,
hear
it's a
him.
little counter to his
Yeah.
narrative, but
Yeah.
there's a purpose. Yeah.
Tobiwan's audio just cut out.
All right, well, it's good. I was pretty much done.
How's it going, ChrispyMan?
I don't know. Can you
What's
hear
good
me?
with you?
Can you hear me at all or no?
Yes.
All right. I'll check in with that. I've been working a lot on models this week, data models, that type of stuff. And I was wondering what you guys thought about the OA having potentially unstaked and then distributed a bunch of HEX with the Pulse Chain launch. And, I've come across that data with what I've been doing, so I just don't.
Can you catch us up to speed with what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks to
Elaborate, please.
yeah, it looks to me like the OA. Let's go back on dates. Right around May 10th, May 11th, right before the fork, the OA addresses became flush with circulating HEX. and then directly after it was moved out. I haven't done the chain analysis to see where it went, but I assume it went into liquidity on PulseX in some way, shape, or form, or to another destination. I have to go a little deeper. I just
Okay,
didn't know if you
well-
guys had heard that.
Well, when you say flush with Hex, do you mean that there were stakes that it had that ended, or do you mean that there was Hex moved into those addresses?
Yeah, like I
from
said,
the
I haven't
sacrifice
gone.
set?
I haven't gone. I'll show you what we got. I haven't gone much further than look at the data at this point.
Great job, Crispy. It's like there might be a serial killer outside your back door. I don't know. I haven't done the research on it, but
And
don't be worried.
You
Hey,
usually know all about
It's
it.
more info than I knew.
All right, so
I know
throw
I
this
have
on
a
the
project
screen.
for tonight.
The OA is also not a serial killer.
All right, so
We at least have no evidence of that.
So Toby, you see this chart here?
I
Yeah,
do see
remember
this
we've been
chart.
trying to put our information together over the last couple of weeks, right? So things have changed a little bit with trying to get data. It's coming from a new chain. We're bringing it all together, so maybe nobody else has gotten to it yet. I thought this was a data error at first on May 11th, that we saw a very large increase. Maybe it is. It's still a data error. I saw this very large spike up with quite a bit of hex and then coming down. But I started doing some spot checking on hex daily stats reports, and it looks like it's correct. And so if we look at
Is that a stake that we were tracking that is associated with the OA, or is that something new?
there was nothing that I had on my radar, but maybe somebody else was. Yeah.
Yeah, this
And
is
so
liquid supply, right?
Mysterious.
When you say circulating supply, that's liquid. So then there's two scenarios. It's either they had a stake that ended that was gigantic, and then that all became liquid, and then it either got restaked or went elsewhere, or there was an infusion into those addresses. And the speculation on my part immediately would be like, oh, is that where the sacrifice set hex went?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, maybe. Well, like this one here that I threw up on the screen is also a little strange, right? This is the staked hex supply. Now remember, we didn't have access to view this directly. Only those that had data access and were really in the weeds might see it. But I also show a huge spike in staking. Now, if I had thought about this in advance, maybe we'd see something like that. I might have looked for it, because that might have been a clear indication that we were forking, right? But whatever, doesn't matter. But so I saw, you see this huge little candle, if you want to call it that, or spike, right on that date, right again, right on May 11th, May 12th.
So let's speculate real time. So let's say that he either emergency unstaked or in-stake, had some stuff that was bleeding or whatever, ended those stakes to get that liquid supply in time for the copy. So he'd have liquid copied p-hex, and then proceeded to restake on the e-hex, because this is just e-hex.
This is all on Pulse Chain. So everything before, of course.
All in one. So,
no, this is all
so this
Pulse
is,
Chain.
but I mean,
yeah.
got
So
it. So
everything that
okay.
existed in the contract data-wise exists anyways, right there. So if it existed on Ethereum, it's copied over, so it shows up there on Pulse Chain.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah,
if my inkling that it had something to do with a SAC address is got any credence, that seems like the easier route to go, because you could just look at the SAC address balances and see if the hex moved. And if it's not that, then you're back to having to figure out of all those OA addresses which one did what.
Yeah, well, I think it's
Right.
yeah. I'm sure. I just asked you because I thought maybe you might have known about it. But we go a little bit further with this, right? We
Crispy,
do
you
have
got
1.
all the deepness. We don't have this info, bro. You're the data expert.
But we have
You're the deep dive, man. We're looking for you to tell us.
You have to wonder where the 1.5 billion hex came from that showed up in liquidity, right?
Right.
Where did it come from? Because we only had 200 million, roughly, right before the fork on the Ethereum side, still there. So 6 times that, 7 times that now is up on liquidity on PulseX. So it came from somewhere.
And then what? Do we have a? What date was this? Was it
10th,
on the
11th.
launch date?
Yeah.
It was on the 10th, 11th. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say in-stake penalties that go to the OA, but it's like that would be ginormous. That wouldn't be it.
It looks like May 11th. All right, I'll dig in deeper. I haven't gotten to the point where my models are rebuilt for the data to be able to show it, so I'm working on it.
Yeah, that reminds me. Actually, I gotta resubscribe to your Patreon. I was changing credit cards and stuff around, so and I canceled my membership when I was doing that. I need to hop back in so I can be on the cutting edge of all your cool data stuff.
Toby, can you subscribe for me too?
Sure, man.
Get an extra card laying around.
Or I'll bootleg it to you. I'll just give you my login. So
Bootleg, yeah.
Crispy over.
I found a wallet.
Just don't tell Crispy.
I found a wallet.
Right.
Hey, you know what? The best kind of advertising is people want to steal cheap stuff from you. Right?
Right.
I could be pretty cheap though. There was some thing on. I'm sorry, it was an app or something, and you fill out all this stuff, and then at the end, it wants you to pay 95 cents to see the results of whatever it was, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah. Right. Right.
I mean, I just don't want to have all
That's
my
pretty
information,
bad.
right? But still, it's funny. I'm like, 95 cents? Are we crazy? I could buy a couple
Yep.
pieces of ice for that nowadays. Oh, man. We could talk about that, what you could have bought for 95 cents not that many years ago. Now it's pretty much nothing.
I know, it's ridiculous.
You can buy some
Right.
Pulse.
You can buy what, like 3 eggs?
Yes, you could
know,
buy some
if that.
Pulse.
2 eggs.
Yeah, there is a small echo, Briz. I have been catching it, but
Or Crispy, maybe? Is he echoing?
I thought it was still doing it after he left, though. That's weird.
I'll tell you what, I'll put myself
don't
on
know.
mute. It's still here for me. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Is it me?
Testing. Testes. 1, 2, 3 testes. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I still hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
How about no?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I still hear it. I guess my turn. Hang on.
Yeah, it might be on your edge or on your end. I don't hear any echo at all. This can't be. Am I really the only one with my audio that's not wrecked?
I don't know. I don't know why mine would be doing
I'm
it.
usually like king of wrecked audio.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's really weird because my
Yeah,
audio
right.
and my microphone are all through the same input. Why is it doing that?
I don't know. StreamYard troubleshooting on Game Theory Gang.
So what do you guys think? Should I save my 2 big announcements for after dollar cost crypto stops streaming, or should I assume
I
that
think you should
thousands
give-
of people will watch on the replay and go ahead and do it now?
I think that for your loyal followers that are here now, even while dollar cost is streaming, you should tell them what's up. Then
Wait,
do
dollar
a-
cost is
like a
streaming?
bigger
We just lost
It's
Chris.
like, oh, I gotta go.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna go.
See you
I'm gonna
guys.
turn my camera off a little bit.
Yeah, I
Do
want to
it.
watch that later.
Do it,
too.
man. I
I'm
wanna hear it.
actually- Yeah.
Well, look, first of all, this is probably going to be the biggest event in Hex and Pulse Chain history is plsconference.live. It's a 48-hour live stream and meetup in Austin, Texas, August 4th through 5th.
Yes.
You can
I'm
get
excited.
your
I'm gonna do-
$49 tickets right now at plsaustin.com until they sell out. There's only 200
Yeah, and just like-
tickets available.
And so people know, like, that's considerable savings because, like, last time it was like, and there was a lot more overhead and stuff, of course, and there was other things going on that warranted those prices. But, like, before it was like $369 or something, right, Maddie? Like in Vegas?
Bro, I paid $1,000 per Bitcoin ticket for 2 days. This is 2
Yeah, right.
days, and it's $50.
And it's $50, less than $50,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So that's great. I mean, especially it's kind of like an acknowledgement that we're still kind of, you know, struggling through the bear. It's kind of like what we did with Highest of Stakes with the box sets. It's like there was talk of those box sets being like substantially more expensive than they were. And we knew, hey, that's a bad look. It's not cool to try to, like, you know, have stuff that's overpriced ever.
I've locked myself
and
into losses here.
oh yeah, and I mean
100%.
people.
I've already wired
trying
the
to
amount
out-
of money that I could possibly make from ticket sales to pay for the event. So,
Right. And Maddie's
this
come
is-
out of pocket and lost money on this shit before. It's like, I mean, don't get ideas. I mean, he's never going to tell you that, but it's like Maddie is a generous soul to do what he does for the
and
community with these conferences.
there's a whale in particular in the community who tends to help and support me. So,
That's awesome.
so I can put stuff on and not have to sweat it. So,
That's awesome.
whether you're going to be participating online or in person, this is technically the second annual Pulse Conference online, because I did one last year at the 1-year anniversary of the sacrifice. I don't know if Richard is going to speak this year, but I know that even for Hexpo Miami 6 weeks ago, we had 69 channels participate. We had 69 channels participate a year ago for pulseconference.online. We had, I don't know, 80 or 90 channels participate for the HEX conference online this past year. The Vegas event had even more, so had over 100 channels. So this is really exciting, I think, and there's probably a lot of Easter eggs in this event. So definitely mark your calendars for August 4th through 5th, because I think that you want to be paying attention and you want to be watching this 48-hour live stream, because I think that it could be the biggest event in RH crypto history.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm doing everything I can to actually. Typically, I try not to tip my hand like where I'm going to be, you know, when I'm going to be where, you know, not like I'm some super, you know, viable option to stalk. But and then also it's like my parents are elderly, so it's like I can't really make plans too far in the distance in case something, you know, goes sideways. But I'm doing everything I can to try to be there, because I think it's going to be absolutely epic and like historic. I think it's going to be like a historic meetup. And I've never been to Austin, and I've heard it's awesome. So
dude, Austin's the best.
Yep, looking forward to it. So Maddie, do you have a link for people to go check out what's up?
Just dropped it here, plsaustin.com. That'll take you to the blog post that explains everything, and you can click on the link to get your ticket from Eventbrite. Or you can pay in Pulse, because
right on.
Richard always said the Bitcoin conference is lame because they don't accept Bitcoin. And then they started accepting Bitcoin again. But the HEX and Pulse conferences have always accepted HEX and Pulse for tickets, in case you want that pseudo-anonymous, you know, style. And shout out to
Archipelago. Yep.
For the $20 super chat. Thanks for what you do, fellows. Happy 4th of July.
Indeed. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I think that that's exciting. And then also, Time Pays Me is live.
Oh, dude, it's so live.
That's awesome. And then what's that website, in case people have not been aware?
timepays.me. And also testnet.timepays.me.
Got it.
And also sourcehat.com/audits/timepaysme. Or you can go to Twitter, Time Pays Me, Telegram, Time Pays Me, allmylinks.com/Time Pays Me, allmylinks.com/allin.
Cool. Yeah, I think long term that's going to be a huge thing to help crypto adoption in general. because security is
I
such a huge part of it, you know.
I don't think I'm willing to give away all the Easter eggs in Time Pays Me just yet, but for now, I can tell you it allows you to time lock your Pulse Chain and Pulse X tokens up to 55 years into the future. The minimum is like 7 days. If you do a 1 minute lock, then you can get it out in 7 days. Why is there a 7 day minimum? Well, it's so that you can undo a hack if necessary. And the user interface rocks. It allows you to set a second seed phrase. And I'm going to be yelling from the rooftops. I'm going to be doing a media tour. I'm going to go everywhere and bang on their doors at all the different podcasts and make sure that everybody knows that this new technology exists. You can bet that every time somebody on crypto Twitter says they got hacked, I'll be there in the comments saying, why didn't you use Time Pays Me?
Yep. Yep, I've got some stakes coming out soon, and I plan on looking into that for maybe some Hex, just out of curiosity to use it with Hex. I don't know if that's the smartest move necessarily, but it's like I like the idea of it not, of helping against a hack. And then basically I was like, I'm in the process of setting up like my estate plan, my trust for, heirs or whatever if I drop dead. And then that way it'd be kind of
drop
easier.
dead. But...
I'm hoping not. If I get hit by a firework tonight, which I got to take off here shortly to go see fireworks, it's like that'd be my luck, right? But yeah, it's like then that way I can have like individualized wallets for people that I already have that set up to some degree. But if I could do that in conjunction with Time Pays Me, then that way it's like if I'm leaving a wallet to someone in my will, then they're doubly benefiting because they've got some extra protection built in. But yeah,
you can have it as a drip or a time lock, or sorry, you can have it as a drip or a hard lock, and that's really cool because for me, I've got Hex stakes coming out every year on my birthday, and I don't want to write a blank check to Ethereum, but so far that's how it's looking. With Time Pays Me, I can send just the right amount of Ethereum into the future, hard locked, so that I have the right amount of Ethereum to pull out. Now, maybe I want to use wrapped ETH from Ethereum, right? Maybe I want to use ETH from Ethereum on Pulse Chain because the fees are going to be lower on Pulse Chain to do that. But I'll do lots of videos about that. The number one thing that I'm looking forward to is following through on my promise, which I should do in the next week, to time lock $10,000 and read off the seed words so that you can prove to yourself that this is a serious thing. If I can't undo a hack, then the $10,000 is yours. That's called a bug bounty, baby.
Is that like the guy that drove around with the billboards with the social security number on there for the identity theft?
Yeah, right. Totally.
Marketing their service that you can't.
That's
whatever.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
I'm not going to be able to make it to Austin. I'd love to go, but I'm probably going to put in for a couple vacation days for those days. So
yeah, and you could.
Can you?
48 hours, 48
if
hours
you can
stream.
join us on the stream, that'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, last time me and Toby were on with
Hex Tangent.
Tangent. I mean, I think I was on there 8 hours that one night.
Dude, he was. I mean, talk about a trooper. He was legit like falling asleep.
I was
trying to hang.
Falling asleep on.
We had to tell him to go get some rest.
Yeah.
It's like, go rest.
Who, Gen Hex or Tangent?
Yeah, Gen Hex.
Yeah,
Gen
I was
Hex.
on there like 8 hours, and I was just sitting there like.
That.
Yeah, I made it for a little longer, and then I faded out, and Freddie tagged in. But yeah, hopefully you'll have a shit ton of people from all over the country joining the 48-hour live stream that can't come and be in person in Austin. It's going to be awesome.
There's people who believe me and people who don't believe me that this is going to be the biggest event. And I want everybody to realize, mark my words, I'm not just saying it because I'm the event organizer for this Austin thing. I'm saying it because I really believe that now's our time.
Yep. Dude, I legit, I mean, that's like, I don't have time to go into it because I'm going to suffer a fate worse than being killed by fireworks if I am late getting off the stream to go do my thing with my fiance. But I do want to say, and you guys can check my Twitter later for the TA, I think things are lining up to where like we are back in that white channel in a week. I think, and that's like above a penny. So it's like not a huge move, but it's like if we're back in that channel, then the top of that channel takes us back to almost 3 cents. So it's like I think all of these things lining up and your conference coming on. I'm working on a couple of special guests for the live stream. So I can't make any promises. Of course, can't tell you who it is, but it's like definitely people that people would be happy to see as participating on the live stream.
Dude.
So I mean, I think it's gonna be super awesome. I'm gonna do everything I can to actually be there in person. If not, I'll definitely hold down the fort with a 48 hour. But I'm super stoked. It's like, you know I'm always buying, but it's like even with the TA, the analysis and stuff, it's like I think if you got a bunch of dry powder right now, you're just dumb. I mean, not financial advice, but it's like, I mean, I'm about as all in as I've ever been, and I mean, I think there's everything goes together, right? I mean, if there's like a huge HEX conference and people are talking about it and the 48-hour stream's popping off and there's, I mean, all of that's going to benefit, and goes right hand in hand with what Richard's doing with trying to like get more active with the farm community and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm super jazzed. I really wish I could hang out with you guys a little longer tonight, but
you're good, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Maddie. Jen Hex, thanks for joining tonight. Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
I'll definitely watch the rest on the replay. Crispy, always a pleasure. Adios, fellas.
Yeah, buddy. Take it easy. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, like right now, these conversations, they happen all the time about bottom of the market, top of the market. When the bull run is really at its fullest, it's all you hear about is, man, I wish I would have bought more. I wish I could have got this at this price or that price.
Oh, yeah.
And even HEX under a penny and stuff. It's like, this is when you accumulate so that later you have bags. Being at the top of the bull market with empty bags doesn't do you any good unless you want to buy the tops.
That's right.
And people see the conversations and they see the cycle of it, and they still just want to complain when the price is down. That's when you get more, Yeah. Not financial advice. But it's just funny, the tweets and the whining and the I want my money back stuff, it's like,
So I think, look, I listen to a lot of streamers. I'm super hyped to have Hex Tangent and Crypto 7 both on board for the 48-hour live stream. I've still got to send out the invitations, by the way, too. But I think it was one of them that was saying recently, you could have sold your Pulse at a 2.5x. You could have sold your HEX when it was 10 or 12 cents. So literally, and this actually changed my mood about the whole crypto scene, is like, if you held, what can you really say? What can you complain about? Maybe it was Sami who said this, right? It was somebody. Somebody pointed out, you had your chance to sell at a 2.5x. You had your chance to sell at a 5x on HEX. And if you didn't take it, then maybe greed got in the way. Maybe fear got in the way, but it was probably mostly greed. And that's okay. Because look, I've been in 2 or 3 crypto cycles now, and I don't have it all figured out, but I know that time locking serves me well. I know that time pays me can help me out. I know HEX time locking can help me out. So, it's important to keep it all in perspective. And I did not have a good perspective until I heard somebody say that. Oh yeah, I could have sold on a 2.5x. I could have sold on a 5x. And the fact that I didn't, that's on me. And the fact that at the end of the day, on a long enough time scale, if you pick the right crypto, you end up doing fantastically better than playing short-term games. And so, not everybody can buy the bottom. Not everybody can sell the top. But
And I think Richard even said before, right, that you can't be there to even sell on the 5x if you already sold on the 2x.
correct.
You won't be there for the 10x or the 100x if you sold
That's
on the
right.
5x.
That's
So
right.
the time patience is, I think the key, unless you just happen to hit this flash in the pan, pump and dump garbage thing that, you got in early, jumped out at the right time or whatever. That's, some people have done that, but
Well, no
Sure.
no regrets, right?
no regrets.
No regrets. So I would say that I don't, maybe greed in a way might have had something to do with it, but we got that 2.5x or whatever.
Or whatever. A
and the
2.5x.
and the plan, yeah, but the plan was, right. Well, okay, I'll give you my plan. My plan is I'm holding my pulse. I'm holding it, right? Why am I holding it? Because I'm delaying gratification.
Yes.
So why would I freak out if the price went down from there? I got some pretty negative comments back to me too, because I guess I'm just not forceful enough in what I say. It was definitely a possibility we were going to see a 90% drop. Definitely. We could still see another 50% drop. And so
It could go to zero.
it could even go to zero. That I doubt. But yeah, but maybe. But so why would people get upset? And I think it's more about the emotions than greed.
Mm.
But I can see
You think
how
it's about what emotions? Because greed is an emotion.
Yeah. Well, the emotion of not being able to deal. Whatever, I don't know what emotion you would give it. Fear, maybe it is fear. Uncertainty about the future because that price drops, right? Well, obviously, if it's not going up, it's not going up, so it's down low, right?
The thing is, my feeling of this with Pulse Chain is it's deflationary, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's only so much of it. There's only
yeah.
going to ever be less of it.
That's correct.
It is the fuel, the gas for that network. So if you don't believe in anything else, if you just believe the fact that people are going to use Pulse Chain and it's going to be around, then it's almost like doesn't take a rocket surgeon to know that your PLS is going to be worth more progressively.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's just
here's I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna drop some alpha here, okay? Because Trevon, he got it wrong, and other people on Twitter, they're getting it wrong. Why do you tune into this channel? Let's get it right, okay? Highest of six. First of all, this is a screenshot from the Highest of Stakes documentary, teaser, trailer, sizzler, whatever you want to call it. The number of views that this tweet has is almost 1 million views, okay? This is your alpha. This is how you know that people aren't expecting what's coming, okay? This man I believe Trevon looked at a tweet from a couple days before this one, which was a couple days ago, to get these numbers. First of all, I don't think this number is correct. I think that that the guy who mortgaged his house for HEX at the top, RG3's friend, I think he got slightly more HEX than that. But I also believe that this man who's pictured on the screen sacrificed the majority of his HEX for Pulse Chain. Now, why is that important, you might ask? Well,
why is that important, Maddie?
It's important because if he sacrificed during the Pulse Chain sacrifice, well, first of all, we know the price of HEX was in between what, like 10 cents and 30 cents, somewhere in there, 50 cents even. Well, if you look at a 2.5x, this man could have cashed out at the top, almost in profit, probably, or maybe even in profit. So we need to look at his wallet address before we go talking about his entire mortgage on his home is only worth $1,800 now, that he's down 95% or something. I don't think that's correct at all. And so if a million people think that this dude is down so bad, I would like to look at the data. And I would argue that he could actually even be up for all we know. But it's knowable.
Right. Well, and if he staked, and depending on what he did with the staking, he's up at least another 10, 20%, well, 20% 2 years.
So I know that he's sacked.
Okay. All right. You already know that. Yeah,
the majority. Yeah. So it's not just a thought experiment. It's like I have it on good authority that he sacrificed. And the other thing that's important is if you listen to the trailer really carefully, he tells his wife, he says, they're magic quarters.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that. That makes me think it was around a quarter when.
Oh, it was.
He did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
I want to add to this conversation and kind of address something that Craig mentioned. So Craig, one of the things I've been doing, and I think this might be important for people. So if you follow the hypothesis, if you have the belief that the chain will survive, right? And then you believe that both Pulse and PulseX have upside potential, right? So this is a belief, not a given, right? So for all those haters, right? I expect that it will go, but I don't know that it will for sure, right? But I'm assuming it does, and that's the plan I'm working with, right? So what I've been doing to make sure I keep myself out of trouble is I've been valuing things in Pulse. I mean, all the way back to, because I try not to do too much, and I haven't done so much, but there are some things that I've done, there are little degen activities here on Pulse Chain. And now hopefully that's done. But anyways, I've been just kind of watching those, watching that Pulse count and even converting, because I think the price to Pulse, because the prices are very misleading. I mean, dollar fiat price is misleading to me when I look at it. And so, like for instance, 140 Pulse per hex. Yes, ABIT took a lot of heat for saying people might be interested in getting it in at hex around 100. Well, 40% more value in Pulse, regardless of what's happening with the dollar value right now at this point. So that looks like it was a good deal for me, The other thing, a couple other things, Hedron, unexpectedly, you could look at that. There was huge opportunity where, even though if you look at the dollar charts, things are down, you could easily have tripled Hedron and Icosa bags. They just in Pulse, in terms of Pulse. So it's very interesting that everybody looks at the dollars, even when we look at the APRs, right? But not at exactly what they're getting in tokens. Anyways.
So what you're saying is 1 BTC equals 1 BTC.
That's right. One Pulse equals 1 Pulse, baby. That's what I'm saying.
Like people who have not been around since 2017 don't know what that means.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think of between us being in the bear market for quite a bit? The PulseX sacrifices, the waiting for the for Pulse Chain to launch, all the other, and I don't want to get beat up for saying this, but all the other tokens that have come out, and the other sacrifices and different things going on, all the other distractions. Do you think once we get all the smoke kind of clears here, and we get back to the basics of appreciating what Hex does, whether it's EHEX or PHEX, and then utilizing Pulse Chain for what it was meant for, low gas fees, quicker blocks, all these different things. Do you think once some of that smoke clears, that some people will get their focus back on what we were all doing before all the crazy hypeness of the sacrifices and waiting on the pulse chain and all the different things? There's been a lot more topics of conversation since all this happened, right? All these different tokens and things and launches and this and that and the other.
I think we're in a macro storming and norming kind of situation, right? We have many, many, many more people that don't necessarily believe in that old methodology. And many, many, many of them are not ever going to believe, but some of them will. But I can look to the charts and not the price chart and see that staking is way up on Pulse Chain, right? I can see that there's more TShares over there. I can see that the value of HEX in relation to Pulse is up. And anyways, what it's showing me is that people are discovering it. Many haven't forgotten it. And I think you're right. Over time, over time, I think people who are looking for yield are going to discover that HEX is the easiest, most straightforward, least counterparty risk way to get yield, because you can lock up for a shortish period of time and get 10% APY per year, and not worry about impermanent loss, not worry about whether or not the contract's good, not worry about somebody dumping on your head, all that stuff. I mean, I guess you still have to worry about dumping on your head, but in terms of being able to get the yield. So I think it's going to be the heat sink of value, and I wouldn't, who knows? I wouldn't doubt in coming months that we see, we see the value of HEX being, twice as much in terms of pulse, like 280, 300 pulse just for one HEX, because I think that's the direction it's going. But I'm happy for it to take less, more time, just very slowly just go, right?
I'll be excited to see what the next bull run does. Because if you're DCAing and back to DCA, when in doubt, just keep DCAing. And if you don't believe in the project, you don't believe in it, then what are you doing here anyway? But if you believe in it, DCA. Get out. Yeah. Sell now. Sell us your stuff. Get out now.
Well, we have a ton more people now that are involved that are all saying, hey, listen, I'm selling everything, and I'm going to sell everything by the end of 25. Everything. I'm going to be out.
I meant get out of the YouTube stream, but you guys are going hardcore. You're like, get out of
Get out of the whole ecosystem.
No, don't wreck people. Getting out of crypto could wreck you.
No, but it's
not
like
financial advice.
It's kind of like step one is figure out that trading doesn't work out very well for you.
Step one is admit you have a problem, and what you just said is the root of it. Yeah, admit that trading doesn't work for you.
Yeah, and then, but you get a ton of people who get it all the time. Tell me, oh no, I trade away. I'm a millionaire from trading, but I haven't met them. And then I'm sure there are some people, right? Maybe it's
the ones you hear about or hear from are the ones that actually that hit the timing and did it, but you don't hear from the millions and millions of people that their exit, that the other guy's exit liquidity came from, right?
Right. And then step two is when the guys figure out, ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute, one cycle isn't long enough because I didn't come in early enough, or I didn't put in enough. So I'm still working. It was great to get 10,000, in profits, but I'm still working. It didn't really help me. And so that's when you start getting delayed gratification. And so it's that process you're talking about.
Or you did everything right, got all the timing right, got super huge gains, but didn't take care of your security right and didn't use Maddie's app to protect your seed phrases and lost it all. See what I did there, Maddie? I segued.
Hey. The second rule of Fight Club is you do talk about Fight Club. And you do talk about your mad gains, but the only way you're going to protect them is time pays me. I'll weigh in on the idea that the conversation has changed, that the focus has changed in this multi-coin environment. I'll weigh in on the macro environment, the upcoming bull market in crypto. Tangent got me hyped. I don't know if you guys listened to his 3-hour YouTube stream. They got kicked off a Discord syndicate for getting a strike, but they've got the Hex Late Show. They've got their own channel now on YouTube, and it's great content, of course. Yeah, I think people are. I think it's going to keep going how it has been. Crypto has been through like 4 or 5 cycles. I think this time is not different. I think it's going to be really hard to believe until we're already at the top. And then it's going to be too late for this cycle. But then the next cycle, maybe you'll be able to do well. So yeah, the people who believe now when it's hard to believe, the people who are in the phase, the people who are figuring it out, like that's part of the game.
I want to clarify too something, because so like Gold Key and I can't think of all his names. Tonto,
Dip catcher, yeah.
Dip catcher, that'll work. That's one of them. Yeah, I appreciate those guys because they were utilizing the stuff we already have, and if anything else, I think Maximus and some of these other things, even with Hedron, keeping people engaged in the community and in the ecosystem, right? During the time when there was a lot of waiting for the launch and things like that. So I don't behoove those guys for anything they did. I respect them and I like those guys. So, but I think there's been a lot of all that during that time. I think there was a lot of distractions and opportunities for other people to slip in and try to take that impatience of the community and the waiting and them anxious to have some action, something happen, and maybe play on that little bit of degen that's in a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, but it's the RH stack that saved people, like the dude on the screen. Because he didn't have to ride Hex all the way down. And people have got this all wrong. The number of Hex that people are saying he has is wrong. There's 1 million people who viewed this. They've got it wrong. They're drawing the wrong conclusion. What does that look like to me? That looks like opportunity. Opportunity is banging down your door. It's busting in. And what are you going to do? Are you going to answer it or what?
Well, and then those the FUD types that it doesn't matter, man. It could all, within the next week, every RH he's ever touched could do 1,000x, and there would still be people out there fighting it and calling it a scam. And there's always gonna be that element for whatever reason, people, haters. And
is this the real Sami? Because if it is, I don't know how to message you. I don't know if we got your Twitter back yet. We're working on it. But I would love. I know Sami doesn't do live streams, but if we could get him in the 2nd annual Pulse conference online, we could get like a 20-minute pre-recorded video to premiere from him. That's what I've done with like Dev Kyle in the past and stuff. And so if it is Sami, hopefully we can get that friendship verified and confirmed.
It may or may not be him.
Yeah, we don't know, but shout out to Sami either way.
Yeah, if it is him, what's up? Shout out.
I mean, there's lots of impersonators of Sami out here right now that like I don't see doing anything malicious. So I'm very confused by the whole thing.
We are all
they
Sami.
sleepers?
We are all Sami.
Good point.
We stand up on our desks now. I am Sami.
Well, nobody followed that link, but the real Sami, the AI is listening, and he'll get my request.
Yeah, the AI. There's at least 4 Samis that I heard about. There's one in the east, one in the west, one in the north, and one in the south.
What about Sami Davis Jr.? Is that one of them too? Is that legit?
Yeah, there you go.
Not the Sami. not the Sami. Carrying on with this conversation about adoption, Maddie,
Yes.
I think that there will be many people that are going to come back later and be very sorry they did not accumulate during this period.
Yeah.
Because when we move out of the period, it's gonna be crazy. Because then the FOMO will start, and then that's how all the stuff goes. Like I said, I think things are definitely stacking up. That way, we're seeing liquidity drop in terms of like HEX on Pulse Chain, that type of thing. And so that'll make it easier and easier, particularly with demand for price to go up. For the folks who are looking to get out, the thing about it is to not go by prices. So a lot of people are looking for X's, and that's not how we're going to be able to determine when the top is, right? Or when the time is. What's that?
Should we go by calendar instead of
And not by calendar either. It's going to be by conditions about whatever's happening with the indicators at that time. What has the price action been? The momentum of buying and selling, that type of stuff.
Can we use the Campbell's tomato soup ratio to?
I prefer chicken bones or chicken liver, one of those two.
There's some staple things that seem to always maintain a certain value through. Can't you determine? Like you could get X amount of PLS for 1 can of Campbell's tomato soup. Use that as a factor.
I heard somebody, yeah. How much sodium's in that? I don't know. I heard somebody yesterday. I had to pass it along over to Access Alive because I thought it was funny. But somebody on stream with the CTO Larson, I think it was, and I forget who else he was on. But you know who I'm talking about, though. CTO Larson. You guys heard of him before?
Heard of him.
Yeah, and he was on with 2 other guys. One of them was new, and I hadn't recognized him. Anyways, that dude was like, we all know that Bitcoin's going to 350,000. We all know. Well, you know what? I don't know if it's going to 350,000. Could it? Sure. Could it?
I would have said 349 tops, but
yeah, 349.
I'm no expert.
349.99. But that's not how a top gets picked. How a top gets picked is by what the people actually do, and because nobody actually picks it, it just happens. And so those people waiting for the number are the ones that can get messed with. Either going to sell too early or too late. And if they're looking to take profits at that time, that's one of the reasons I like the whole passive income thing, anyways, because I don't like having that stress. But
hell yeah, you don't like selling at all, do you?
Sami, all right. Maybe I should start DCing tomato soup too while we're at it. You never know. Times can get tough.
It is the real Sami.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I thought it was.
Whoa.
He is our friend. Everybody loves Sami.
Sami, can you speak for 20 minutes pre-recorded at the Pulse conference online? Hit me up.
Ouch.
Oh, ye of little faith.
You have to be careful about what you tell him because he's an AI, and so he doesn't always have pre-programmed answers.
That's right.
Either that, or he split his team up into 4 quadrants, and he's got to contact all 4 of them to give you an answer.
He can tell me on Thursday during Hex Therapy Live.
You know 7, Crypto 7, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you know him or not.
Oh yeah, I've been on his stream and gonna go back.
Okay, I'm sorry you did. I said that, and I suppose you know. But he was saying he was saying that he believes Sami is at least part of a 4-person team. So Sami doesn't exist.
Because there's mad respect.
Because
Sami being one person who's extremely productive.
Could he be just one person, but a combination of AI and stem cells?
Look,
I think so. That and a bag of
giant.
If you have a straight back,
smart guy.
Bag of
if
human
you have
meat.
fluffy slippers, you put 3 ice cubes in your orange juice, and you tell people, if you tell people that they're scrumptious, desserts, then maybe you would be that productive too.
I can handle that lifestyle, especially the fluffy slipper part.
I'm wearing fluffy
Exactly.
slippers right now. Believe it
I
or
do
not.
that Mr. Rogers thing when I
Why
get
don't
home from work. I
prove
take
it,
my
prove
work
it.
boots off and I
You got
slip
some
on
fluffy slivers?
my dad shoes.
There you
My
go.
Sketcher, the ones with the 7-inch thick foam,
Oh, that's so
memory
nice.
foam soles.
Mhm.
Walk on the clouds around the house.
Community is important, and you know, we've got a lot of people in the community who put in a lot of hard work, and it's good that we can recognize that.
Yeah, hear that. That's
I've been slacking. I need to get back on the. It's just been.
No expectations, but you're more than welcome. We appreciate it.
Well, I've been trying to, like, opportunities at work. If they need somebody to come in different times, I've been trying to do. And then there's been a few Saturdays. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of fighting a little bit of something. I don't know if it's depression or vitamin deficiency or something. I've got a doctor's appointment scheduled and get some updated, stuff. But
Good for you.
weekends, if my alarm doesn't
blood
go
work,
off for a
man.
reason, I have trouble just being motivated sometimes when I'm not working. It's something's going on. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have felt that way at times, or similar to that.
Oh yeah.
I definitely recommend also following up on the whole nutrition thing. There's an awful lot of trace minerals and whatnot that we don't get, that we're deficient in, and you don't think it should affect your mind, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
What's
that's
that?
some sort of electrolyte.
Omega-3.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I took mine today, even though I don't know what 369 means. I took
Magical numbers.
My green
I
screen
took
messed it up a little bit. I've been juicing too. It's now talked me into getting one of those. What do you call juicers? The slow chewing type juicer that doesn't heat up the juice. Masculating.
You mean
It's a demasculating juicer. It makes you feel less of a man when you drink it. No, whatever the word is. But for the last week, every day, I've faithfully been drinking like a tall glass of freshly juiced goodness. So
That's what's up.
hoping that
I just learned how to juice.
macerating. Thank you, Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach always there for me when I need her. Appreciate it, buddy. Oscillating, Briz, that's when you drink it and you turn back and forth like this while you drink it. But you were close. I mean, you got to take care of yourself,
and,
right?
taking walks. That's another good one.
Toby was telling me that, and I said, man, I walk around all day at work. The last thing I want to do when I get home is take a walk. But he told me, he's like, yeah, but you can't think of it like that. Go out in nature, like go down a trail or something where you're outside in nature and just be in the moment, I think Toby's a closet hippie.
not so closet. But
He did take me to go see Graham Nash, so me and him went and seen him a couple months ago. Toby's a good dude.
Yes. One of the best Texicans I know. He does what he says he's going to do, that's for sure. The other thing I'd recommend, to talk about the homeopathic. Somebody's lighting fireworks off here. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, I got him popping outside here too. Yep.
Of course, I get arrested when that happens, when I do it. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I didn't actually get arrested, but somebody was called the police. Grounding is another good one. Just walking around outside with your shoes off, man.
It is now actually takes a step further with that. He has the grounded sheets or something. He's got some kind of. They literally you ground them, and he says it makes a difference.
Yeah, I had at one point I thought about doing it. I didn't do that though, but because I was going to go the route of natural grounding, which meant running a running a copper wire from my bed outside to a iron post in the ground. I was thinking
Well,
that
isn't
might
that
be
what the grounding? What do you do? How do you ground the sheets? Do you plug it into an outlet and use the ground from the outlet?
yeah.
Or something?
I'm assuming it must
It
be
just
something
feels
like that.
weird to me.
Either there's a
Don't
connection.
electrocute yourself.
Yeah, I know.
And
What if I have a bedwetting problem? I mean, do you guys really want to? You want to watch Mr.
yeah.
Ballen's channel and hear that about me? Come on.
Yeah. But I do find it, I sometimes do find it refreshing just to walk around barefoot.
I think any step in the direction of you taking better care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. I think
Yes.
if that's what you need, it's still better than you standing still or going the opposite direction, right? So whatever works for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I
I
sit around eating bags of Cheetos, and to me, spiritually, that's I'm closer. Sure,
I'm closer to the Cheeto God.
me and Chester are like this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy.
But I think Joe Rogan's talking about like the infrared saunas and different stuff, and some of those things will trigger different proteins and different things, I guess. All I know is every time I see Toby in person, he looks like he's getting younger. He's like the Benjamin Button of the Hex community.
Dude,
So he's doing something right.
he is.
Toby, if you're listening, I'm not saying you look like Brad Pitt, so don't get a big head.
Yeah.
I'm saying you look younger. But
Oh, I think Aubrey DeGrey is going to come to Austin, Texas.
oh, nice.
I haven't told anybody that, but we're on the topic of longevity and looking younger and all that. So.
I would love to
Surprise.
hear an update from him on kind of what they've been working on and stuff.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff.
That would be a good proof is in the pudding kind of thing, right? He comes back and he looks like a college kid. We know it's working.
Yeah.
He does look pretty young already, doesn't he?
I don't know
Somebody
how old
else-
he is.
Somebody else in the Hex community also bought a DeLorean just the other day.
Oh, yeah?
So it's like I've got the E DeLorean and he's got the P DeLorean. So you get like a free copy on Pulse Chain.
I bet you he didn't get it free, though.
Yeah, why not?
You know, we could do a push, Maddie, to get the community, more of the whales and people that can do it, to buy up every DeLorean there is out there until you guys have the maximum number, and then use them to push Pulse Chain and
Yeah.
Hex.
So Back to the Future just launched on Broadway this week.
Oh, really?
Really? And there's only about 8,000 DeLoreans that are in the United States.
That are still like usable?
Yeah, or maybe there's only like 4,000 here and there's like 8,000 worldwide. They're pretty rare.
That's pretty interesting considering the body was stainless steel, right?
Yeah.
So I guess probably just you've had a few wrecked here and there, but it's not like they're sitting around rusting.
Crypto Sparbach found one at a bar in Mexico that was like abandoned in a cool way. They sent me a picture of it.
Oh.
But it wasn't rusting. You're right.
Well, what about parts? Have you had trouble finding parts for yours at all? Or is there enough aftermarket still out there? Or do you have to
Yeah,
get stuff
there's
custom?
enough. There's
Huh.
Because they didn't build them all. They have like warehouses filled with parts.
Ah, that makes sense. So we need about 4,000 hexagons to go out and buy DeLoreans.
Yeah, and they're gonna come out with new ones here pretty soon too.
New
Nice.
DeLoreans?
Yeah.
Interesting. Could
Yeah.
you imagine, though, Hex Convention in Vegas and like 500 DeLoreans in the parking lot? I mean,
No.
that might make the news.
That would. We've got two, so we're.
It's a
on
good
our
start.
way. Yeah,
You've already 2x'd the community's
that's correct.
DeLorean
That's correct.
count.
Now we just need the bull market.
I would also like to give Toby props on something else. He's driving like an 8-year-old little convertible that you would think like if you could just go out and get a new car, right? No. He roughs it in that little 8-year-old convertible just so he can keep DCA more into the community.
Dude.
Good job, Toby.
Yeah. That'll probably work out for him really well.
He just keeps going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny.
That's right.
Making lots of moves. Things he shared with us on screen as well. So not things that necessarily he's told us in private, you know. I think everything he said in private about what he's done, he's been very consistent online, you know, on stream. Pretty good.
Maddie, I'm going to try to find something I can print for you, man. I want to make a custom Maddie all-in something.
That'd be cool, man.
One of a kind, original, only for Maddie. I'll figure something out. It'll be a surprise.
Make me a life-sized clone of Richard.
Life-sized?
Well, I would make a flux capacitor for him. That's what I would do.
I could just see me with a measuring tape and stuff trying to get, and I got like a Red Bull can. I'm like, okay, Richard.
Make sure you get the right one.
Oh, yeah.
There's different sizes of Red Bull.
Did you guys see Richard's dick tweet today?
His what?
I'll have to bring it up.
I saw I saw his tweet with the little tractor.
Not that one.
No.
There's a reply. Yeah, I thought the altcoin mania that Richard was talking about, I thought that was a new form of outrage marketing. But I think it's really just to bring people into the ecosystem. Oh yeah, here it is. Can we show this?
Do the parents need to put their children to bed now?
Oh, definitely.
I can't see it.
Parents, if your children are watching right now, you may want to.
So I'm not going to show everything, but Richard says, I will not fight anything hung like that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do your own research on the beginning of that video.
That rhino was like, nope. Changed my mind.
Sweet. Right.
You know, I think the first time the Discord Syndicate got canceled is because they showed an elephant wing.
Oh.
That was them and Randy Hilarski.
Mm-hmm.
Early days.
Right.
ChrispyMan remembers.
So you'll never see Richard fighting with a whale either, apparently.
So is that the opposite of Red Bull marketing?
I think Poseidon trumps whale, but
True that.
I meant that. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, you can bring your kids back out now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh. Oof. Richard's funny, though, some of his tweets. Like, he'll have all these very technical things, and then he'll just throw out this tweet right in the middle of it, like, I don't know. It's got to be interesting, him sitting around. He's like the Donald Trump of crypto. He's just sitting around tweeting on Twitter. 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right, Maddie, my friend. I think I'm going to check out.
Yeah. You know, it's 4th of July and there's fireworks going off, so we can go ahead and wrap it up for now. But thanks to everybody who's tuned in here live and on the replay. We've been going for 68 weeks straight here on Game Theory Gang. Hopefully it's been helpful for you. And where can everybody find you, Tune?
You can find me over at HexFire.io, hexfire.io or hexfire.io on Twitter, hexfire.io here. And the YouTubes. Come on down.
Twitter, you can find me at Craig Wadding on Twitter, and Gen Hex channel on YouTube. We've been streaming. We haven't streamed the last couple weeks, but we're not going anywhere. We just haven't been as active. So thanks, Maddie, for letting me come on.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for being here. And
Yeah,
for me, I'm gonna get back to putting out some documentation for Time Pays Me, and getting my $10,000 loaded up there so I can give you all the seed words for that. And so until next time, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out.
Thank you, Maddie.